Give yourself one vision, 10 years, and the discipline to stay the course, because that is the formula for total transformation. 10 years may sound long, but look back at the last decade of your life. Didn't it pass quickly? The next 10 will move just as fast, and the results will depend entirely on the focus you choose today. If you move through life without a vision, time will decide for you, and chances are you won't like the outcome. But if you commit to one clear direction, if you decide to protect your health, master your habits, grow your mind, and stay consistent, then 10 years will not just pass, they will build something remarkable. Transformation does not happen in a week or a month. It happens when you live each day with clarity and purpose. This message is your reminder that the next 10 years are coming. Make sure they count. Number 1, decide what you truly want before time decides for you. When you sit quietly and think about your life, the truth is simple. Time is not waiting for you. Every day you live, you are either moving closer to the life you want or drifting further away from it. And here's the first big decision you must face. Decide what you truly want before time decides for you. This is not something to think about casually. This is the choice that shapes your 10 years, your future, and your transformation. If you don't decide, life has a way of deciding for you. Days slip by, habits take control, and soon you wake up and realize you never aimed at anything meaningful. That's the danger of leaving it to time. Ask yourself right now, what do you truly want? Not what people expect from you, not what sounds good to others, not what looks impressive from the outside. I mean what you want so deeply that you would be willing to wake up earlier, work harder, sacrifice comfort, and keep moving when it gets difficult. That is the real decision. Without it, you will wander. With it, you gain clarity. And clarity is powerful. Clarity gives you energy. When you know exactly what you want, small distractions lose their grip on you. Think about the people who never make this decision. They drift through jobs they don't like. They give in to habits that keep them small. They say yes to things that waste years of their life. Why does that happen? Because they never took the time to sit down, look themselves in the mirror, and declare, this is what I truly want, and I'm willing to work for it. Without that decision, life becomes a default pattern, and the default is rarely extraordinary. Now, if you're going to make this decision, you must be honest with yourself. Many people are afraid to admit what they truly want. They fear judgment. They fear failure. They fear that their dream is too big, so they lower it. Don't do that. If you want success, write it down. If you want financial independence, own that desire. If you want strength, discipline, peace of mind, or respect, then say it clearly to yourself. The first victory is not over the world, it's over your own doubt. When you decide, something powerful happens. You stop living for the approval of others and start living for your own vision. You stop reacting to life and start directing it. Think of the energy that comes when you wake up in the morning with something worth working on. Your feet hit the ground with purpose. Compare that to the heaviness of waking up with no reason, no plan, just another day to get through. Which life do you want? The choice is yours. You see, 10 years will pass either way. The calendar will move, your body will age, your responsibilities will grow. The only question is, what will you have to show for it? 10 years can either leave you with regret or pride. If you don't decide what you want, regret is almost guaranteed, because time will make the decision for you. It will hand you the results of laziness, the results of procrastination, the results of drifting. But if you decide now, you can shape those 10 years into something that makes you proud every single day. This is not about a quick fix. This is about shaping the next decade of your life with clarity and discipline. Think of it this way. If you knew you had only 10 years to prove yourself, to reach your best, to live at your highest potential, what would you choose to focus on? Who would you choose to become? The answer to that question is your vision. That is what you must decide today. And here's the truth. When you decide what you truly want, everything else becomes easier to filter. You won't waste time on endless entertainment. You won't waste energy on pointless arguments. You won't spend your life comparing yourself to others. Why? Because you are too focused on your own vision. You don't have time for distractions when you're building the life you want. So how do you make this decision in real life? You begin by asking tough questions. If money was not an issue, what would you pursue? If fear was not holding you back, what would you choose? If you looked at yourself 10 years from now, what version of you would make you proud? Answer those questions honestly and write it down. That becomes your vision. Once you have it, guard it. Don't let temporary moods steal it from you. Some days you will feel tired, but the vision must remain. Some days you will feel uncertain, but the vision must remain. Some people may laugh at you, but the vision must remain. The person who decides firmly and holds on to that decision wins the long game. You also need to remember that deciding what you want is not enough. You must follow that decision with daily action. A vision without action is just a dream, but a vision followed by discipline becomes reality. Every day ask yourself, what can I do today to move closer to the life I want? The answer doesn't have to be dramatic. It could be finishing a workout, reading a chapter, saving a small amount of money, saying no to a bad habit. These daily moves create the decade. The decade creates the transformation. Look at history, look at successful people, look at those who live meaningful lives. They all made a decision. They didn't stumble into success. They declared it. They worked for it. They endured the cost of discipline, and in the end, they built a life that matched their vision. If they can do it, so can you. The rules of time are the same for all of us. The hours are equal, the days are equal, the years are equal. The difference is not time itself. The difference is the decision made at the beginning. Now think about your own life. How many times have you put off making this decision? How many times have you said, someday? How many times have you settled for less because you didn't sit down and demand more of yourself? You can't keep pushing it off. Someday doesn't exist. Only today does. If you want the next 10 years to mean something, you must decide today. Not tomorrow, not later, but now. And I promise you, once you decide, you will feel different. You will feel lighter because the fog is gone. You will feel stronger because you are no longer pulled in 100 directions. You will feel more alive because you are aiming at something real. That is what a vision does. It gives you the energy to endure the grind and the patience to wait for results. The world is full of distractions. Everyone is trying to pull your attention. If you don't decide what you want, those distractions will decide for you. You will end up serving other people's goals instead of your own. Don't let that happen. Protect your vision, protect your time, protect your future. And remember this, deciding what you want doesn't mean it will be easy. It means it will be worth it. Difficulty is part of the process, but difficulty with purpose is far better than drifting without meaning. At least with purpose, your pain leads to progress. With drifting, your pain only leads to regret. So I ask you again, what do you truly want? Not tomorrow, not next year. What do you want to shape in the next 10 years? Decide clearly, write it down, commit to it, because time is moving, and one day you will look back. When that day comes, make sure you can say with pride, I decided what I wanted, and I built it. That is the way to total transformation. And that transformation begins not with luck, not with chance, but with one firm choice. Decide what you truly want before time decides for you. Number 2, discipline yourself daily because comfort destroys long-term growth. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. When you look at the people who achieve meaningful progress over years, you will find one thing in common. They discipline themselves every single day. They don't always feel like it, but they understand that feelings are temporary while growth is permanent. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it destroys long-term growth. Comfort is easy, discipline is hard, but discipline is what builds the kind of life worth living. When you wake up in the morning, you face 2 choices. You can give in to what feels good now, or you can stand firm with the discipline that moves you forward. That choice shapes your future. The small daily choices add up. 10 years from now, you will not remember the comfort of sleeping late, but you will see the damage it caused. You won't remember the pleasure of skipping your responsibilities, but you will see the wasted potential. On the other hand, the daily discipline of getting up early, working with focus, saving consistently, learning every day. Those disciplines add up to transformation. Discipline is not punishment. It is the highest form of self-respect. It is saying to yourself, I am worth the effort. My future is worth the cost. My vision matters more than my mood. Discipline is proof that you care about the person you are becoming. Too many people allow their lives to be run by comfort. They do only what is easy and then wonder why they never change. Growth and comfort cannot live in the same house. If you want growth, you must show up for discipline. Think about this. Comfort offers you an escape. Discipline offers you freedom. The person who gives into comfort every day eventually becomes trapped. Trapped in debt, trapped in poor health, trapped in habits that destroy confidence. The person who embraces discipline every day builds freedom. Freedom to live without regret, freedom to make choices, freedom to hold their head high because they know they did the work. That is the trade. The price of discipline may be high, but the price of regret is higher. When you discipline yourself daily, you begin to build a foundation that nothing can shake. The mind gets stronger, the body gets sharper, the emotions become more stable. You no longer crumble when challenges come. You face them with confidence because you have been training yourself every day. Discipline is training for life. Without it, you are unprepared. With it, you are ready for whatever comes. Let's talk about the areas where daily discipline matters most. The first is your time. If you don't discipline your time, distractions will steal it. You have to control your schedule instead of letting it control you. Decide what matters, set a time for it, and follow through. Even if it is uncomfortable, even if you are tired, that daily discipline with your time will pay off more than anything else. The second is your body. Discipline in health is not about perfection. It's about consistency. Eat better food, move your body, sleep enough hours, stay away from what destroys your energy. When you neglect your body for comfort, you pay the price in sickness, fatigue, and low confidence. When you discipline your body, you carry yourself differently. You walk into a room with strength. You feel alive. The third is your mind. Discipline here means controlling what you feed your brain. If you spend hours every day consuming useless information, you are training your mind to be weak. If you discipline your mind with books, learning, and useful knowledge, you sharpen your thinking. Over 10 years, the difference is unbelievable. The disciplined mind creates opportunities, while the undisciplined mind stays stuck. The fourth is your money. Financial discipline is what separates freedom from slavery. Spend less than you earn. Save consistently. Avoid waste. Invest wisely. Comfort says buy now. Discipline says wait. Comfort says spend for pleasure. Discipline says plan for freedom. 10 years of financial comfort leaves you broke. 10 years of financial discipline builds wealth. And finally, discipline in your emotions. Comfort says avoid hard conversations, ignore problems, and hide from pain. Discipline says face it, deal with it, grow from it. When you discipline your emotions, you don't explode in anger, you don't collapse in fear, and you don't quit in discouragement. You remain steady. That steadiness makes you powerful. Now, here is the hard truth. Discipline does not happen by accident. It must be chosen every day. It requires reminders. It requires commitment. It requires honesty. There will be times when you want to give in, times when comfort seems too attractive. But discipline asks you to think long-term. Discipline asks you to imagine the person you want to be in 10 years. Do you want to be proud or ashamed? Strong or weak? Free or trapped? That vision is what gives you strength to choose discipline over comfort. Discipline also grows with practice. The more you do it, the stronger it becomes. At first, it feels heavy, like lifting a weight that is too much. But if you keep lifting it, your strength increases. Soon, what was once hard becomes normal. That is how discipline works. The small wins build momentum. The momentum builds confidence, and confidence makes discipline easier to maintain. Discipline is not about doing everything perfectly. It is about doing the right things consistently. You will make mistakes. You will fail some days. That's normal. The key is to return quickly. Don't let one mistake become a habit. Don't let one day of comfort destroy weeks of discipline. Get back up, start again, and keep moving. The ability to restart is also part of discipline. Comfort whispers lies to you. It tells you to take it easy. It tells you that tomorrow is better. It tells you that you deserve to relax. And once in a while, rest is good. But there is a difference between rest and comfort. Rest is recovery. Comfort is avoidance. Rest builds you back up. Comfort keeps you stuck. You must know the difference. If you want to grow, you cannot avoid discipline. 10 years of daily comfort leaves you with nothing but regret. 10 years of daily discipline gives you transformation. That's the exchange. Decide which one you want to live with. Imagine yourself 10 years from now. Picture two versions of you. One version gave into comfort. That person is weaker, unfulfilled, and disappointed. The other version chose daily discipline. That person is stronger, wiser, healthier, more respected, and more confident. Which version do you want to become? The decision is made not in one big moment, but in the small daily choices that seem unimportant. That is where your future is shaped. Discipline also brings something comfort can never give: pride. Pride in knowing you didn't quit. Pride in knowing you gave your best. Pride in knowing you took control of your life. That pride is priceless. It gives you dignity. It gives you peace of mind. It gives you the ability to look back without regret. Comfort may feel good for a moment, but it never gives pride. To discipline yourself daily, start small. Create a structure for your mornings. Set a time to wake up. Plan your day before it begins. Do one hard thing first. Build discipline into your routine so it becomes natural. Then expand it to your health, your work, your relationships, your money, your learning. Bit by bit, discipline becomes your way of life. Over time, this way of life changes you completely. You become someone others respect. You become someone others admire. You become someone others can rely on. But most importantly, you become someone you are proud of. That transformation is not luck. It is discipline. So today, make the choice. Comfort may call your name, but don't answer. Choose discipline instead. Remind yourself that comfort destroys long-term growth, while discipline creates it. Every day counts. Every choice matters. Over the years, the rewards will come. The freedom will come. The transformation will come. But only if you discipline yourself daily. 10 years will pass, whether you like it or not. You cannot stop time, but you can decide how you will use it. If you use it with comfort, you will lose it. If you use it with discipline, you will win with it. That is the law. That is the truth. And that is the way to one vision, 10 years, and total transformation. Number 3, refuse to waste days on things that mean nothing. Every day of your life is an investment. What you do with those 24 hours either builds your future or robs you of it. And the harsh reality is this: most people waste their days on things that mean nothing. They spend their hours scrolling, talking about unimportant topics, entertaining themselves with empty habits, and then wondering why their life does not move forward. If you want a transformation over 10 years, you must refuse to waste days on things that mean nothing. A wasted day is not just about lost hours. It's about losing the chance to create progress that could have shaped your future. You never get that day back. Once it is gone, it's gone forever. Think about how many people say they don't have enough time. They complain that life is moving too fast. But the truth is not that they don't have time. It's that they don't use it wisely. 10 years of wasted days adds up to a wasted life. 10 years of productive days creates a transformation that others will envy. You have to look honestly at your own life and ask, where are my hours going? Are they going towards something meaningful, or are they being thrown away on distractions? If the answer is distractions, it's time to change. You cannot allow yourself to drift through your days without purpose. If you want to reach your vision, every day must have meaning. That doesn't mean every day is perfect, but it does mean every day counts. Wasting days often comes from not being clear about what matters. When you don't know what is important, everything looks important. Every notification feels urgent. Every conversation feels worth your time. But when you are clear about your vision, you immediately recognize what deserves your energy and what doesn't. The person with clarity refuses the trivial and protects the meaningful. That refusal is not always easy. It takes courage to say no. It takes discipline to walk away. But if you want a decade of growth, you must guard your days like treasure. Think about the damage of wasting time on the wrong people. Hours spent with people who only complain, gossip, or distract you is time stolen from your future. Instead of fueling your mind, they drain your energy. Instead of lifting you up, they hold you back. You must choose your company carefully. If a relationship does not move you closer to your goals or your peace of mind, you must question why it deserves your time. 10 years from now, the results of your relationships will be clear. Either you will have grown with people who pushed you higher, or you will have stayed stuck with people who kept you small. The same goes for habits. Every small habit is either meaningful or meaningless. Watching one meaningless show might seem harmless. Scrolling through social media for hours might feel like nothing. But stacked over years, those habits create a wasted life. On the other side, the person who spends a little time each day reading, practicing a skill, working on health, and building connections is creating a powerful life. The difference is not talent. The difference is refusing to waste days. Another trap is busyness. Many people waste days not by doing nothing, but by doing things that mean nothing. They run around, constantly busy, always in motion, but never moving closer to their vision. Being busy is not the same as being productive. You must look at your tasks and ask, is this moving me forward, or is it just keeping me occupied? Productivity is about progress, not noise. 10 years of busyness without progress leaves you empty. 10 years of focused action builds transformation. So how do you refuse to waste days in real life? The first step is awareness. At the end of each day, reflect on how you spent your time. Ask yourself, what did I do today that mattered? What did I do that meant nothing? If you are honest, you will quickly see where your time is leaking away. Awareness is painful, but it is powerful. Once you know, you can change. The second step is intention. Start your day with clear priorities. Decide in advance what 3 things absolutely must get done. If you complete those, the day is meaningful. Don't start your day in reaction. Don't hand over your schedule to the world. Claim it for yourself. That is how you take control of your days. The third step is boundaries. Protect your time from distractions and interruptions. Learn to say no to things that don't align with your vision. People will always want your attention. Opportunities will always show up, but not every opportunity is good. Not every request deserves a yes. A strong person knows when to say no, even if it offends others, because they understand that protecting their day is protecting their life. The fourth step is consistency. One day of refusing to waste time will not change your life, but string together weeks, months, and years of meaningful days, and the change becomes undeniable. Consistency turns small actions into massive transformation. Don't underestimate the power of a decade of meaningful days. It is also important to understand the cost of wasted time. Wasted time costs you energy. It costs you opportunities. It costs you confidence. Each day wasted chips away at your belief in yourself. You start to feel behind. You start to feel guilty. You start to lose momentum. But when you refuse to waste days, you build confidence. You feel proud at the end of the day. You gain momentum. You believe in your own ability to direct your life. That belief is priceless. When you look at successful people, you'll notice something. They value their days more than money. They know they can always make more money, but they can never make more time. That's why they protect their schedule. That's why they refuse meaningless meetings, meaningless conversations, meaningless distractions. They understand the value of a day. Do you? Imagine yourself a decade from now. If you continue to waste days, how will your life look? Will you be happy with the results? Will you be proud of the way you spent your time? Or will you regret the days that slipped through your fingers? Now imagine the opposite. 10 years of meaningful days. 10 years of focus, growth, discipline, learning, and progress. Can you picture the strength, the confidence, the freedom you will have? That future is created one day at a time. This is not about being perfect. You will waste a day here and there. You will get distracted. But the goal is to refuse to let it become a pattern. When you catch yourself wasting a day, stop, reset, and get back on track. One wasted day is not the problem. A wasted decade is. So refuse to waste days on things that mean nothing. Refuse the distraction. Refuse the comfort. Refuse the busyness. Refuse the meaningless. Your life deserves better. Your vision deserves better. Your future self deserves better. One vision, 10 years, total transformation. It starts with protecting every day and giving it meaning. Because when you add up a decade of meaningful days, you create a life that inspires not only yourself, but everyone around you. Number 4, push yourself harder when your mind wants the easy way. There will always be a part of your mind that wants the easy way. It whispers to you when the alarm goes off that you deserve more sleep. It tells you to take a break when you have only done half the work. It convinces you to skip the workout, to delay the project, to relax instead of push. That voice is the barrier between the life you have and the life you could have. If you listen to it, you stay where you are. If you push yourself harder in those moments, you break limits and enter new levels of growth. Your mind is built to protect you from discomfort. It prefers safety, routine, and ease. But safety and ease do not create transformation. They only keep you comfortable while time passes by. Every person who has built strength, wealth, respect, or freedom has learned how to act when their mind wanted the easy way. They chose to push harder, to keep going, to add one more step when their body and mind wanted to stop. That is how progress is made. Think about the times in your life when you grew the most. They weren't the easy moments. They were the moments when you wanted to quit but didn't. The moments when you were tired but still finished. The moments when you felt afraid but still acted. Growth happens at the edge of effort. That edge is uncomfortable, but it is also where strength is built. If you always give in to the easy way, you train your mind to settle. You create a habit of quitting early. Soon, quitting becomes automatic. You don't even think about it. You just stop when it gets hard. That habit destroys potential. On the other hand, when you push harder, even just a little, you train your mind to endure. You prove to yourself that you can go further than you thought. Each time you do that, your belief in yourself grows. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is often just a few extra steps. The student who studies one more hour learns more. The worker who makes one more call gains more opportunities. The athlete who does one more repetition becomes stronger. It doesn't look like much in the moment, but over years, those extra steps add up to greatness. That's why you must push when your mind wants the easy way. Discipline is born in these small moments. Anyone can work when they feel motivated. Anyone can give effort when it's convenient, but only a few keep going when it's hard. Those few become leaders. They become the ones others admire. They are remembered not because they had it easy, but because they went further when it was tough. You can become that person if you refuse the easy path and choose the harder one. One of the dangers of always choosing the easy way is regret. It may feel good in the moment, but later you look back and realize what you missed. You realize you could have been stronger, smarter, wealthier, or more disciplined if you had pushed harder. Regret weighs more heavily than effort. It sits with you in quiet moments and reminds you of wasted chances. But the person who pushed through difficulty doesn't carry regret. They carry pride. They carry strength. They carry proof that they earned their results. When your mind says take it easy, you must answer with action. Don't debate it. Don't negotiate with it. Move. Do the thing your mind is resisting. If it says stop running, take one more lap. If it says quit studying, finish another page. If it says skip the hard conversation, pick up the phone anyway. That habit of moving against resistance is what transforms you. You stop being controlled by moods and start being guided by vision. Understand this. Your future is shaped in the moments when it's easier to quit. That is when the decision matters. If you want to be proud of yourself 10 years from now, you must fight those daily battles against ease. Ease will always be there. It never leaves. But your strength grows each time you choose the harder path. Your body may feel tired, but it can handle more than you think. Your mind may feel stressed, but it can carry more than you believe. The limits you feel are often not real. They are signals your mind sends to protect you. If you listen to them, you stop early. If you ignore them and push further, you discover new ability. Each time you break a limit, the next one becomes easier to face. You must also remember that pushing harder does not mean destroying yourself. It means refusing to quit. When you know you can give more, it means doing the thing you promised yourself, even when it's not convenient. It means choosing growth over comfort. There is a difference between rest and laziness. Rest recovers you. Laziness steals from you. Learn the difference and push yourself when laziness appears. Over 10 years, this habit will change your entire identity. You will become someone who cannot be stopped easily. Challenges that once looked impossible will feel normal. You will surprise yourself with what you can do. And when others look at you, they will wonder how you became so strong. The answer will be simple. You pushed harder when your mind wanted the easy way. This principle applies in every part of life. In your work, when tasks pile up and you feel like slowing down, push through. That extra effort could be the step that brings opportunity. In your health, when you want to quit the workout, finish strong. That last repetition builds both muscle and mental strength. In your relationships, when you feel like ignoring the difficult conversation, have it anyway. That effort builds trust. In your learning, when you feel like closing the book, read more. That habit sharpens your mind. Everywhere in life, the reward is found on the other side of effort. Most people do not fail because they lack talent. They fail because they stop too soon. They take the easy way too often. Success requires persistence. It requires pushing beyond the urge to quit. You must decide who you want to be. The person who always takes the easy way, or the person who proves to themselves that they can endure. When you push yourself harder, you build respect for yourself. You start to trust yourself. You no longer make promises you don't keep. You say to yourself, I will finish this. And you do. That kind of trust in yourself is powerful. It gives you confidence in every area of life. You walk taller. You speak clearer. You act stronger. Self-respect grows only when you keep the promises you make to yourself. The world is filled with distractions and shortcuts, but shortcuts rarely last. They give quick results and long-term disappointment. The harder path takes more effort, but it gives results that last a lifetime. That is why you must refuse shortcuts and choose the disciplined way. Every day that you do this, you separate yourself from the average. Every year that you do this, you move closer to transformation. So when your mind tells you to stop, remember this: the easy way will not give you pride. It will not give you progress. It will not give you transformation. Only the harder way will. Push yourself beyond the comfort. Push yourself past the excuses. Push yourself when no one is watching. Because 10 years of that kind of effort will build a life that is unrecognizable compared to where you started. Number 5. Protect your health now. Because 10 years comes fast. Your body is the foundation of everything you do. If you want to build wealth, relationships, or personal growth, none of it matters if you don't have health to support it. Protecting your health must start now, because 10 years will pass quickly. And when it does, your daily choices will show up in your body. You cannot borrow health. You cannot buy it at the end of the decade. You cannot replace it once it is broken. The only way to secure your future is to take responsibility today. Many people live as if their health is endless. They stay up late, eat without thought, skip movement, and ignore the signals their body is sending. In their 20s or 30s, they may feel fine. But time has a way of revealing neglect. Suddenly, in middle age, they are dealing with fatigue, weight gain, stress, and illness. The truth is, those problems do not appear overnight. They are the result of years of ignoring the basics. 10 years from now, you will either thank yourself or blame yourself for the way you treated your health today. Think about it this way. Every meal, every night of rest, every workout, every glass of water, every choice you make is shaping the body you will live in a decade from now. Your body is not separate from your goals. It is the vehicle that carries you toward them. If the vehicle breaks down, progress stops. That's why protecting your health is not optional. It is the single smartest investment you can make in your future. Health is more than avoiding disease. It's about energy, focus, and strength. When your body feels good, your mind works better. You think clearer, you make better decisions, and you recover faster from setbacks. You walk into rooms with confidence. You live with vitality. Compare that to a body weighed down by fatigue and poor habits. It makes even simple goals harder. Without health, every other success feels shallow. To protect your health, you don't need extreme changes. You need consistent daily actions. Begin with food. What you eat either fuels you or drains you. 10 years of fast food and processed snacks leads to problems you cannot ignore. But 10 years of balanced eating creates energy and longevity. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to care enough to choose better more often than not. Small improvements today compound into huge benefits tomorrow. Movement is another non-negotiable. A body that does not move becomes weaker every year. Muscles shrink, bones lose strength, flexibility disappears, and even the heart struggles. On the other hand, a body that moves daily stays strong and capable. You don't have to run marathons. Simple, consistent exercise is enough. Walk, stretch, lift, breathe deeply. 10 years of small effort creates a body that still feels young while others complain about aging. Sleep is one of the most underestimated parts of health. Too many people sacrifice rest for work, entertainment, or distraction. They wear tiredness like a badge of honor. But lack of rest damages your brain, weakens your body, and shortens your life. Protecting your health means respecting your need for recovery. 10 years of good sleep will give you sharper memory, more energy, and emotional balance. 10 years of poor sleep will rob you of all three. Stress is another silent destroyer. A decade of unhandled stress shows up as sickness, broken relationships, and burnout. Protecting your health means finding ways to manage stress before it breaks you. This can be through meditation, deep breathing, writing, meaningful conversations, or time spent in nature. You cannot avoid stress, but you can control how you respond to it. Healthy routines protect you from the damage stress can cause. Another key part of protecting your health is avoiding harmful habits. Smoking, excessive drinking, and drugs may provide short-term pleasure, but they take years from your life. They weaken your body, damage your mind, and steal your energy. 10 years of those habits leave scars you cannot erase. If you are serious about transformation, you cannot afford to carry habits that destroy you from the inside. Replace them with habits that extend your life instead of shorten it. Health also includes regular checkups and prevention. Too many people wait until they are sick before they pay attention. By then, it is harder to reverse the damage. Prevention is easier than treatment. Pay attention to your body. Get tested. Listen to signs of fatigue, pain, or imbalance. Early action can save years of suffering. 10 years of ignoring symptoms leads to regret. 10 years of paying attention leads to peace of mind. What many people forget is that health is not just for you. It's also for the people you love. If you neglect your health, your family suffers with you. They see you struggle. They worry about you. They lose time with you. But when you protect your health, you give them the best version of you. You give them strength, presence, and years together. Health is not selfish. It is an act of love. 10 years from now, your career goals may change. Your financial goals may shift, but your health will always remain the foundation. Without it, you cannot fully enjoy any success. Think of the joy of being able to travel, play with children or grandchildren, wake up without pain, and live without fear of illness. That joy is only possible if you protect your health now. So how do you stay consistent with protecting your health? First, make it non-negotiable. Don't treat it as optional. Build it into your life like brushing your teeth. Second, keep it simple. Choose sustainable routines instead of extreme ones. Third, hold yourself accountable. Track your progress. Celebrate small wins. Fourth, connect your health to your vision. Remind yourself daily that health is the foundation of the life you want to build. 10 years will pass faster than you think. If you doubt this, look back at the last 10 years of your life. How quickly did they go? What did you do with them? The next 10 will move even faster. The only question is, when those years arrive, will your body be an asset or a liability? Will it carry you forward or hold you back? That answer is being written today. When you protect your health now, you are not only preparing for the future, you are also improving today. You will feel better, think clearer, and live with more energy right away. Every good choice has both short-term and long-term rewards. The meal you choose, the steps you take, the hours you sleep, the stress you release, all of it improves today and secures tomorrow. So take this seriously. Stop treating your health as if it can wait. Time is moving, and your body is keeping score. Protect your health now, because 10 years comes fast. And when those years arrive, you will want to be strong, capable, and alive, not filled with regret about the choices you ignored. Your transformation depends on it. Protecting your health is protecting your life. Number 6, control your attention or lose years to meaningless distractions. Your attention is the most valuable resource you have. What you focus on grows, and what you ignore fades. If you do not control your attention, it will be stolen by meaningless distractions. And when you look back after years of giving away your focus to unimportant things, you realize you have lost time that can never be recovered. The greatest tragedy is not a lack of talent, but a lack of focus. People waste years because they never mastered their attention. Every day, the world fights for your attention. Notifications, news, endless scrolling, gossip, entertainment, and noise are designed to capture your mind. They want your eyes, your ears, your thoughts, and your hours. If you do not set boundaries, you will be consumed. A distracted person does not build a great life. A distracted person lives in reaction, pulled from one thing to the next, never in control, always following impulses. 10 years of distraction leads to nothing but regret. 10 years of controlled attention creates transformation. Look at the people who achieve meaningful results. They are not superhuman. They simply protect their attention with discipline. They know exactly what matters, and they block out what doesn't. They choose where their mind goes, and because of that, they move forward when others stay stuck. The difference between progress and stagnation is attention. Where is yours going? Distractions often appear harmless. Checking your phone for a minute, watching one more video, answering another pointless conversation. It seems small, but small distractions add up. Minutes become hours, hours become days, and days become years. Suddenly you wonder why you never reached your goals. The answer is not lack of opportunity, but lack of focus. Distractions are thieves, and they rob silently. You only notice the loss when it is too late. To control your attention, you must first decide what deserves it. Not everything is worthy of your mind. Ask yourself, does this move me closer to my vision? Does this add value to my life? Does this make me stronger, wiser, healthier, or freer? If the answer is no, then it is a distraction. It may feel enjoyable in the moment, but it costs too much. You must learn to walk away. Another danger is multitasking. Many people believe they are getting more done by dividing their attention, but in reality, they are weakening their focus. The brain cannot give full energy to two things at once. You switch back and forth, losing depth, losing quality, losing time. If you want true progress, you must give your full attention to one thing at a time. Depth beats speed. Consistency beats noise. Think about the goals you have for the next decade. They will not be reached if your attention is scattered. You cannot build a strong body if half your focus is on entertainment. You cannot build wealth if your attention is trapped by distraction. You cannot grow your mind if you feed it shallow content all day. Your results are tied directly to the quality of your attention. Guard it with your life. Practical steps matter. One way to control your attention is to design your environment. Remove what tempts you. Turn off notifications. Clear the clutter from your workspace. Limit the sources of noise. Create a space where your mind can stay centered on what matters. When your environment is clean, your focus becomes sharper. Another step is to set specific times for deep work. Train your brain to expect focus during those hours. Over time, it becomes a habit. You also need to build awareness. Many people don't even realize how much attention they waste. Start tracking your days. At the end of each night, ask yourself where your attention went. Did it go toward building your vision or feeding distractions? Be honest. Awareness is uncomfortable, but it gives you the chance to change. Without awareness, you stay blind while years slip away. Your relationships also demand focus. Too many people waste energy on meaningless drama, shallow connections, and endless comparison. Protect your attention by choosing who you give it to. If someone constantly distracts you from growth, distance yourself. If a relationship drains your energy, reevaluate it. Your attention is precious. Don't give it to people who don't value it. Attention is also about presence. Too often, people are physically in one place, but mentally elsewhere. They are at dinner with family, but their eyes are on their phone. They are working, but their mind is wandering. They are reading, but they are not absorbing. This lack of presence ruins both productivity and relationship. When you are in a moment, give it your full attention. Be there completely. That depth of focus creates meaning. The cost of losing control over your attention is more than wasted time. It is wasted potential. It is a weaker mind, an unfocused life, and a future filled with regret. But the reward of controlled attention is clarity, progress, and strength. You feel the satisfaction of finishing things that matter. You see the results of consistent effort. You build a life that reflects your vision. 10 years will come quickly. If you allow distractions to own your attention, those years will be filled with noise, but not results. If you take control, those same years can transform your life completely. The calendar moves either way. The only question is what your attention will create in that time. Your mind is like a lens. When scattered, it is weak. When focused, it is powerful. Use it wisely. Refuse to hand it over to meaningless distractions. Refuse to waste your mental energy on things that do not matter. Protect your attention today, and in 10 years you will live a life built by focus, not destroyed by distraction. Number 7, feed your brain with knowledge that raises your value. The most valuable thing you can ever put into your life is not money, not possessions, not status. It is knowledge. The difference between where you are today and where you want to be in 10 years is what you learn and apply along the way. If you want your value to rise, you must feed your brain with knowledge every single day. Not just any information, but the kind of knowledge that strengthens your skills, sharpens your judgment, and makes you more capable in the real world. The truth is, your brain is like soil. Whatever you plant in it, it will grow. If you fill it with gossip, entertainment, and noise, you will harvest weakness. If you fill it with useful knowledge, wisdom, and practical skills, you will harvest growth. 10 years of feeding your brain with the wrong things leaves you unprepared for opportunity. 10 years of feeding your brain with the right things makes you powerful, respected, and in demand. Every single day you are making a choice about what enters your mind. The shows you watch, the people you listen to, the books you read, the videos you consume, all of it is shaping you. If you don't pay attention, you may be filling your brain with content that lowers your thinking instead of raising it. That is why you must be intentional. If you want transformation, you cannot leave your mind on autopilot. You must take control of what you put into it. The right knowledge does more than give you information. It changes how you see the world. It changes how you make decisions. It changes how you carry yourself. For example, learning about money helps you see opportunities to build wealth that you never noticed before. Studying communication helps you speak in ways that earn trust and respect. Learning about health teaches you how to extend your energy and avoid mistakes that destroy your body. Each piece of knowledge raises your value. And when your value rises, your opportunities multiply. Think about the people who are paid the most, trusted the most, respected the most. They are not always the strongest physically. They are the ones with knowledge others need. Knowledge makes you valuable because it allows you to solve problems, create solutions, and bring results. The more problems you can solve, the more valuable you become. That is why you must feed your brain with knowledge every day. If you stop learning, you stop growing. If you stop growing, you fall behind. But it is not enough to simply collect information. You must focus on useful knowledge. Too many people spend hours memorizing things that don't matter to their lives. They know endless trivia, but they cannot manage their own finances, discipline their habits, or build skills that matter. Knowledge must be practical. It must be applied. If it does not raise your value, it is not worth your time. Start with the areas that matter most to your future. If you want financial freedom, study personal finance, investing, and business. If you want health, study nutrition, exercise, and if you want stronger relationships, study psychology, communication, and human behavior. If you want success in your career, study the skills that make you excellent at your craft. Knowledge in these areas directly raises your value. And once your value rises, the world will reward you. The best way to gain knowledge is through reading. Books are condensed wisdom. A single book can give you lessons that someone else spent decades learning. When you read, you borrow their experience without paying the full price yourself. If you make a habit of reading daily, you will be far ahead of the average person who only consumes shallow content. A decade of daily reading can change your entire future. Another way to feed your brain is through mentors. Learn from people who have done what you want to do. Their knowledge is proven by results. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow, who share insights you can apply, who make you think bigger. If you spend time with the right people, you cannot help but gain knowledge that raises your value. Courses, workshops, and real-world practice are also powerful. Do not be afraid to invest in your education outside of school. Formal education gives you basics, but self-education creates transformation. Every skill you add, every subject you understand, every lesson you apply is a tool you carry for life. Tools that make you stand out. Tools that separate you from the crowd. Tools that give you control over your future. One of the dangers in today's world is endless distraction. With so much information available, it is easy to confuse consumption with learning. But scrolling through content is not the same as feeding your brain. True knowledge requires attention, reflection, and application. Don't just consume, digest. Ask yourself after reading or listening, how can I use this today? If you don't use it, you lose it. There will be times when you feel tired of learning. Your mind will crave entertainment instead of growth. That is the moment you must remind yourself that every page read, every lesson learned, every skill practiced is a deposit into your future. Comfort feels good for the moment, but knowledge pays for a lifetime. When you choose knowledge over distraction, you are saying yes to your future self. 10 years from now, you will not be the same person you are today. The only question is whether you will be better or worse. That outcome depends on what you feed your brain. If you feed it shallow distractions, you will be weaker. If you feed it meaningful knowledge, you will be stronger. The mind never stays the same. It either rises or declines. The choice is yours. Another truth is that knowledge builds confidence. When you know what you are talking about, you stand taller, you speak clearer, and you move with certainty. Ignorance breeds fear, but knowledge breeds courage. Courage is what allows you to take risks, to step forward, to lead. That courage only comes when you have equipped your mind with knowledge. Do not underestimate the compounding effect of daily learning. 1 page a day, 1 lesson a day, 1 skill a day may not feel like much, but stack them up over years and you will see the difference. 10 years of this habit will raise your value to a level that even you cannot imagine today. People will look at you and think you were lucky, but it will not be luck. It will be the result of feeding your brain every single day. So protect your mind from meaningless content. Refuse to fill it with garbage. Be selective about what you let in. Choose what feeds your future, not what numbs your present. Value your brain enough to give it the best. Because when you raise your value, you raise the quality of your life. And when the next 10 years arrive, you will be living proof of what happens when you feed your brain with knowledge that truly matters. Number 8, choose people who make you stronger, not weaker. The people you allow into your life will either lift you higher or pull you down. You cannot ignore this truth because the influence of others is powerful. If you want to change your life over the next 10 years, You must choose people who make you stronger, not weaker. Every conversation, every interaction, every environment shapes you. You may not notice it day by day, but over time, the effect is massive. 10 years of surrounding yourself with negative, lazy, or unmotivated people will drain your potential. 10 years of surrounding yourself with disciplined, positive, and ambitious people will transform your future. Think about how often people become like their closest friends. Attitudes, habits, even language start to match. If your circle complains constantly, you will soon complain. If your circle makes excuses, you will start to do the same. But if your circle works hard, values growth, and keeps high standards, you will naturally rise to their level. Human beings adapt to the energy around them. That is why the choice of who you spend time with is one of the most important decisions of your life. Many people fail not because they lack talent, but because they stayed connected to people who weakened them. They allowed toxic relationships, negative influences, and destructive behaviors to steal their energy. They wasted years trying to fit in with groups that did not share their vision. If you want to transform, you must be willing to walk away from people who refuse to grow. It does not matter if they are old friends, coworkers, or even family. If they consistently weaken your spirit, you must protect your future by limiting your connection. Choosing people who make you stronger does not mean only finding perfect individuals. It means choosing those who add value. People who challenge you when you are lazy. People who encourage you when you are down. People who remind you of your goals when you forget them. The strongest relationships are not about comfort. They are about growth. A real friend is not the one who only entertains you. It is the one who pushes you toward your best. Look around your life right now. Who are you spending the most time with? Do they make you stronger? Do they inspire you to be better, to think bigger, to act with discipline? Or do they keep you stuck, encourage bad habits, and waste your energy on meaningless things? If the people closest to you are not making you stronger, it is time to make a change. This is not easy. Some people will accuse you of being selfish. Some will feel offended when you create distance. But you must remember, your life is your responsibility. If someone is damaging your growth, protecting yourself is not selfish. It is survival. You cannot carry everyone with you. Some people will not want to grow. Some will choose comfort. Some will stay negative no matter what you do. You cannot let their choice become your future. At the same time, you must actively seek out those who make you stronger. Find mentors who have achieved what you want to achieve. Build friendships with people who respect discipline and growth. Join communities that value learning, health, and resilience. Spend time with individuals who encourage ambition, not mediocrity. These relationships are like fuel. They give you strength when you feel weak, and they remind you of the standards you must live by. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with someone. Do you feel motivated, focused, and clear, or do you feel drained, discouraged, and distracted? Your emotions after an interaction tell you the truth about whether that person makes you stronger or weaker. Trust that feedback. Don't ignore it. Your time and energy are too valuable to waste on people who bring you down. When you choose people who make you stronger, you also raise your own standards. You no longer accept excuses because your circle doesn't. You no longer waste days because the people around you are working. You no longer settle for average because your group pushes for more. Over years, this effect compounds. You will look back and realize how much higher you climbed, simply because you chose the right people. This choice also teaches you to be someone who makes others stronger. Growth is not one-sided. If you want powerful relationships, you must add value too. Be the friend who challenges laziness. Be the voice that encourages discipline. Be the person who pushes for growth. If you expect strength from others, give strength in return. That is how you build relationships that last and transform. One of the most dangerous lies people believe is that they can handle negative influences without being affected. No one is immune. Spend enough time around negative people, and it will change you. It might not be obvious at first, but slowly your standards drop. Your energy fades. Your vision blurs. Protecting yourself means refusing to put your future in that danger. Even one or two strong influences can shift the direction of your life. That is why you must be careful with your choices. Think about the next 10 years. Imagine two different versions of yourself. In one, you spend your days surrounded by complainers, gossipers, and people who avoid responsibility. In 10 years, you will be stuck, tired, and filled with regret. In the other version, you spend your days with people who are disciplined, positive, and forward-thinking. In 10 years, you will be stronger, freer, and proud. The difference is not chance. It is your choice of people. Relationships shape destiny. Every word spoken into your life either lifts you or lowers you. Every person you trust either sharpens you or dulls you. Every group you belong to either builds your vision or destroys it. Be wise enough to see this. Be bold enough to act on it. If you want to grow, you must give yourself permission to outgrow certain people. You cannot stay the same just to keep them comfortable. Growth demands separation from those who refuse to move forward. It is not cruelty. It is necessity. You are not rejecting them as people. You are choosing to protect your vision. At the same time, find gratitude for those who make you stronger. Appreciate them, learn from them, and invest in those relationships. They are rare. They are precious. 10 years from now, those people will be the reason you achieved transformation. They will be the ones who reminded you of your vision when you almost gave up. So take control today. Look at your circle honestly. Decide who strengthens you and who weakens you. Spend more time with the strong. Create distance from the weak. Protect your future from the weight of negative influence. Because in the end, your life will reflect the people you chose to keep close. Choose wisely. Choose strength. And in 10 years, you will look back, knowing you built a future with people who lifted you higher instead of pulling you down. Number 9. Face your mistakes quickly and fix them without delay. Mistakes are not the end of progress. They are part of it. Everyone makes them, no matter how disciplined or intelligent they are. The real difference between those who grow and those who stay stuck is not whether mistakes happen, but how they respond. If you avoid your mistakes, they grow larger. If you deny them, they control you. If you face them quickly and fix them without delay, they become lessons that strengthen your life. Too many people waste years running from mistakes. They blame circumstances. They blame other people. They pretend nothing happened, but ignoring reality does not make it disappear. Problems do not fade with time. They expand. Small mistake left unresolved today can become a massive problem 10 years from now. That is why one of the most powerful habits you can build is to confront mistakes the moment they appear and fix them immediately. When you face a mistake quickly, you stop it from defining you. You take back control of the situation. You admit it happened. You analyze why, and you act to correct it. That honesty creates growth. You learn faster because you don't waste time hiding. You recover faster because you don't waste energy pretending. You move forward stronger because you know you can handle failure without fear. Facing mistakes requires courage. It hurts to admit you were wrong. It feels heavy to acknowledge that your choice caused pain or damage. But that short-term discomfort is nothing compared to the long-term pain of avoidance. When you fix mistakes early, the damage is limited. When you delay, the damage multiplies. Ask yourself, is it easier to repair a small crack or rebuild a collapsed wall? The answer is obvious. Handle your mistakes while they are still small. Every mistake carries information. It shows you where your process is weak, where your discipline slipped, or where your understanding is incomplete. If you pay attention, each mistake gives you feedback that can improve your life. But you only get that benefit if you are willing to look at it directly. People who refuse to face mistakes never learn from them. They repeat the same errors again and again. And over years, that pattern destroys them. You must also learn to separate your identity from your mistake. Making a mistake does not mean you are a failure. It means you are human. The strongest people are not the ones who never stumble. They are the ones who get up quickly, clean up the mess, and continue moving forward. They don't waste time in shame. They don't beat themselves up endlessly. They focus on fixing, not dwelling. That ability is what keeps progress alive. Think about relationships. A mistake made with words or actions can damage trust. If you ignore it, resentment grows. But if you admit it quickly, apologize sincerely, and change your behavior, trust can be restored. The difference between a broken relationship and a stronger one is often how fast mistakes are addressed. Delay builds distance. Immediate action builds respect. The same principle applies to finances. Spend too much one month, and you can correct it by adjusting the next. Ignore the mistake for years, and you end up in deep debt that feels impossible to escape. Health works the same way. Neglect a few days, and you can fix it with discipline. Ignore it for years, and you deal with sickness that could have been prevented. Small mistakes become heavy burdens if left untouched. Facing mistakes quickly also builds confidence. When you know you can handle errors, you no longer fear making them. Fear of failure is what stops many people from trying. But if you trust yourself to fix problems fast, you are free to take more action, to risk more, to grow more. You stop being paralyzed by the thought of imperfection. You realize progress is built on a cycle of trying, failing, correcting, and improving. To build this habit, you must first train yourself to notice mistakes. Pay attention, reflect daily. Ask yourself where you went wrong and what you can adjust. Don't wait for someone else to point it out. Take responsibility. The quicker you see it, the quicker you can act. Second, take immediate steps. Even a small action toward correction is better than waiting. Third, commit to not repeating it. A mistake fixed but repeated again and again is a choice, not an accident. Pride is the biggest enemy of correction. Many people know they made a mistake, but their pride will not let them admit it. They fear looking weak. They fear judgment. But pride destroys progress. The longer you hold on to it, the worse the damage becomes. Humility is the strength you need. The ability to say, I was wrong, but I am fixing it, is a mark of maturity and power. People respect those who own their errors more than those who pretend to be flawless. Facing mistakes quickly also saves relationships, opportunities, and even years of your life. Imagine a person who admits an error at work, immediately corrects it, and learns. They grow in the eyes of their team. Now imagine the person who hides it, covers it up, and waits until it explodes. They lose trust. They lose respect. And sometimes they lose their job. The same pattern happens everywhere in life. The ones who act fast on mistakes rise higher. The ones who delay fall lower. The faster you fix a mistake, the more momentum you keep. Delays drain energy. Denial creates mental weight. But when you fix it, you free yourself to move forward. You can focus on building instead of covering up. You can spend your energy on progress instead of excuses. That freedom is priceless, and it is only available when you act quickly. 10 years from now, your life will be shaped not by avoiding mistakes, but by how quickly you corrected them. If you fix them fast, you will grow wiser, stronger, and more capable. If you avoid them, you will repeat them until they break you. The future belongs to those who are honest with themselves today. Mistakes are inevitable, but regret is not. Regret comes from delay, from denial, from avoidance. Growth comes from courage, from correction, from action. So face your mistakes quickly and fix them without delay. Protect your future from the weight of uncorrected errors. Choose growth over pride, progress over fear, action over excuse. And when you look back 10 years from now, you will not see a life of perfection, but a life of resilience, strength, and transformation. Number 10, stay consistent every day until your vision is complete. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is consistency. Big plans are exciting in the beginning, but excitement fades. Motivation comes and goes. What separates success from failure is the ability to show up every single day until the vision is complete. If you want a transformation over 10 years, you cannot rely on bursts of energy. You must build the discipline of daily consistency. Without it, your vision will remain nothing more than a thought in your head. With it, you can take even the most ambitious goal and make it real. Consistency is not about perfection. It's about steady, repeated effort. Doing the work even when you don't feel like it. Following through on promises you made to yourself finishing the small tasks that look unimportant, but build the foundation for something bigger. Over time, consistency compounds. The days may feel ordinary, but they are stacking up to create something extraordinary. One day of effort means little, but 1,000 days in a row will change everything. Many people start strong, but fail to stay consistent. They want fast results. When progress is slower than expected, they quit. But growth does not happen on your schedule. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes the willingness to keep going when there is no applause, no recognition, and no immediate reward. If you stop too early, you throw away all the effort you already invested. The people who achieve their vision are the ones who endure the quiet seasons, who keep showing up when no one notices. Think about fitness. You don't get strong from one workout. You get strong from hundreds. You don't ruin your health from one bad meal. You ruin it from years of careless eating. The principle is the same in every area of life. Success is the result of repeated actions. Consistency creates momentum, and momentum builds transformation. The key is to keep stacking days of effort until your vision is reality. Staying consistent requires clarity. If you don't know what you are working toward, it is easy to lose focus. You must define your vision clearly. What do you want to achieve? Who do you want to become? What will your life look like when it is complete? Once you know, you can align your daily actions with that vision. Every day becomes a step toward it. Without that clarity, your consistency will fade because you will not see the reason behind your effort. Another key to consistency is simplicity. Don't try to change everything at once. Don't overload yourself with impossible routine. Start with small, repeatable actions. Small wins build confidence. Over time, you can add more. The goal is not to do everything perfectly in one day, but to keep moving forward every day. Simple actions, done consistently, create the biggest results. You must also learn to fight boredom. Consistency is not glamorous. It can feel repetitive. It can feel slow. That is why many people quit. They crave constant excitement. But the truth is, progress is often boring. Reading one more page, saving a little more money, exercising again, practicing one more time. It doesn't feel exciting, but it builds mastery. If you can push through boredom and keep going, you will reach levels others never touch. Consistency also demands self-control. There will be days when distractions tempt you, days when comfort looks better than progress, days when excuses sound reasonable. This is when you must remember your vision. Ask yourself, will skipping today bring me closer to my goal? The answer is always no. Consistency is built by choosing action over excuses. Day after day, each choice strengthens the habit until it becomes part of who you are. Accountability can also keep you consistent. Share your goals with someone you trust. Surround yourself with people who value discipline. Track your progress and measure your results. When you see evidence of improvement, it motivates you to keep going. When others expect you to follow through, it pushes you to honor your commitment. Consistency grows stronger when it is supported by accountability. Another truth is that consistency must survive setbacks. You will have bad days. You will face obstacles. You will make mistakes. The key is not avoiding failure. It's refusing to let failure break your streak. If you miss one day, return the next. If you fall short, get back up quickly. What matters is not being flawless, but being relentless. The person who returns after every setback is unstoppable. The power of consistency shows up in unexpected ways. At first, you may not see results. It feels like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, progress is building. Skills are developing. Habits are forming. Strength is increasing. Then one day, the results appear, and others call it sudden success. But you will know the truth. It was years of consistency that made it possible. 10 years is not a long time. Look back at the last decade of your life. How quickly did it pass? The next 10 will go just as fast. The difference will be whether you spent those years drifting or whether you stayed consistent with your vision. A decade of inconsistency creates regret. A decade of consistency creates transformation. That's the choice you face today. Consistency is also freedom. When you build habits, you no longer waste energy on decisions. You don't argue with yourself about whether to act. You simply do it. It becomes automatic. That frees your mind to focus on growth instead of resisting effort. Consistency makes discipline easier because it removes debate. You just follow the system you built, day after day. To stay consistent every day, build routines that support your vision. Create morning habits that set the tone. Plan your priorities before distractions arrive. End your day with reflection and preparation for the next. Live with structure, not chaos. When you control your schedule, you control your consistency. The greatest reward of staying consistent is pride. Not the shallow pride of impressing others, but the deep pride of knowing you kept going when it was hard. The pride of honoring your vision. The pride of looking back and seeing years of steady effort. That pride is worth more than quick results. It gives you confidence, dignity, and peace of mind. So decide today, will you stay consistent every day until your vision is complete, or will you give in to the comfort of inconsistency? The choice is yours. 10 years from now, the answer will be clear. Either you will be living your vision, or you will be living with regret. Stay consistent. Protect your progress. Keep showing up. Because in the end, the vision does not belong to those who start. It belongs to those who never quit. 10 years will pass whether you take control or not. The question is, will those years leave you stronger, wiser, and transformed? Or will they leave you wishing you had started sooner? One vision can shape your future. 10 years can build a new life. And total transformation is waiting if you stay committed. Don't wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time is now. Start small, stay consistent, and let each day move you closer to the life you want. Remember this, your future self is depending on what you do today. If this message spoke to you, don't just walk away, act on it. And when you're ready for more guidance, come back here. Every word, every principle, every lesson is designed to help you create that one vision. Stay with it for 10 years and live in total transformation. This is just the beginning of your journey.